Okay, 2.1e. We've added a production subsidy to the emissions tax. Why on earth would we do that? Why would we subsidize a monopolist? Well, you might think a monopolist is already earning too much profit. Why would you give them more money? But of course, from the social point of view, the problem with the monopoly is not that they're earning too much profit, because we don't care about the allocation of resources, about who gets the benefits. We only care about what people actually spend their time doing, how they allocate resources. And the problem then with the monopoly is that the monopolist makes too little stuff. Okay, the monopolist is allocating too few resources to production. How can we persuade the monopolist to produce more? We give them a production subsidy. At the same time, we want to persuade them to emit less, so we tax emissions. Let's see if we can get to the optimum. So, what's the problem? The monopolist is still choosing Q and E and trying to maximize profits, which are equal to revenue minus costs minus the tax payments, but plus the subsidy payments. What did I call the subsidy? Sigma, yes. That's a sigma. And the other one is tau, yeah, or tau, a lot of people call it. Okay, and what's P? P is A minus BQ, isn't it, I think, if I remember rightly. And what's C? C is C plus Q minus E squared over 2. So this is the monopolist's problem. And again, we're actually interested in the regulator's problem of choosing sigma and tau to deliver this outcome, the optimal. But how does the regulator do that? The easiest way is just to choose arbitrary sigma and tau, work out what the monopolist is going to do, and then work out what levels of sigma and tau you need to deliver the outcome. So, first order conditions. In Q, A minus 2BQ minus 2 times this over 2 go inside plus 1. So it's minus C plus Q minus E with brackets plus sigma equals 0. We switch things over, we get equals plus that minus sigma. Okay. So that's the first order condition in Q. The first order condition in E is going to give minus 2 times that divided by 2 minus is going to be plus, so it's C plus Q minus E minus tau equals 0. So, equals tau. And actually, by inspection, we can already say that, look, we're going to want to set tau equal to delta. We know that because we want C plus Q minus E to be equal to delta. Can we actually see that from these? Yeah, we can. If we put A minus delta over B here, if we substitute that for Q, we want E is C minus delta plus Q. We take that delta over and the E over, we get that delta is C plus Q minus E. So if we're going to achieve this outcome, we definitely need Tor equals delta. So if we do that, then we have that this is delta C plus Q, which is a known. Yeah, Tor was unknown from the beginning. Delta is known. So now we can say C plus Q minus E is just delta, which we know, so we can replace it here and say that A minus 2BQ is delta minus sigma. Now, sigma, not very good at my sigmas. So now we've got an expression with just two unknowns, Q and sigma, but we know that we want to choose sigma to make Q equal to A minus delta over B. So we've got A minus 2B, A minus delta over B equals delta minus sigma. So we bring the sigma over. Sigma is delta minus A plus 2, the B's cancel out, A minus delta. So sigma is delta minus A plus 2A, so that's delta plus A minus 2 delta. So that's A minus delta. That is the production subsidy. Check my crib sheet. Yes. So if delta's naught, there's no environmental damages, then you have no emissions tax. Tor is naught, but you still have the subsidy to production to correct the other externality or the other market failure. So, 2 market failures, 2 instruments is the general rule. And if the market failure is emissions, pollution and market power, then typically you're going to need something like an emissions tax and a production subsidy. Oh, what if a second company enters? Well, any number of things could happen. They could collude and play like a monopolist, like build a cartel. Then we'd similar results to what we saw before. They might compete perfectly, treating the price as exogenous, in which case we just need Pigou. They might both exercise a degree of market power, that's the most likely outcome, I would say, in which case you've got a much trickier problem. And that is the end of question 2.2.